back to Opal&Mint. I am Ashley, and today's video is one I've been waiting for a while. We're going to be swatching Holbein's 108 watercolor set. I already filmed this intro and filmed swatching, and there was no audio, so I'm redoing the intro. I'm going to be doing a voiceover for the swatching footage. This video is going to be broken up into two parts. Part one is going to be the first half because there are 108 colors. There's a lot, but we've got lots and lots of colors to get through in this video. It's going to be a long one, and the next one will be long as well. But at the end of it, in part two, I'm going to go through and pick a curated palette of my favorite colors after we swatch them all, analyze them, decide what properties we want in different colors, and I'm going to pick a small palette out of the 108 colors. So let's go ahead. We're going to turn the camera around and we're going to start swatching these gorgeous paints. I mean, so pretty. All right, so here is the 108 Holbein watercolor set. Look at these gorgeous paints. I love seeing a fresh set of paints and just the rainbow of colors. This is so stunning. They have the insert with all the colors and information. I am going to be putting the pigment information and light fast ratings and such on the screen as I'm swatching these colors today. So you have that information. They also had this, which had their gouache and different colors along the range as well. I believe 108, this is the largest set they have. I believe this is the number of watercolor colors that they have. So we're going to be swatching this in my little swatch book. I made this from a giant rolled sheet of Fabriano Artistico watercolor paper. I believe this is the cold press paper. And I'm trying to go through and swatch all of my paints in this book. So we're going to swatch the Holbeins in here. This, like I said, is going to be a two-part video because this is going to be a lot of paints. But I started off with this is a new paintbrush. I had never used it. So I started off with this Jackson's Art. This is a Kolinsky Cashmere Sable, size, I think 8. I end up switching out that brush later, but all right, so the first color we're starting with is Crimson Lake, PR 177122 and PV19. The light fast rating on this is 3 stars, which is permanent. This is semi-transparent and staining. So I'm going to be saying the light fast ratings and stuff. The light fast in Holbein is 1 to 4 stars. And most of them are in the 3 stars, which is permanent. And there's 1 4-star, which is absolutely permanent, and the 2 stars are moderately durable. So this first one is Crimson Lake, and this is a beautiful, rich, rosy color. I'm looking at the swatches now dried, and it definitely dried a little bit richer and deeper than this swatch. But I'm going to be doing these in my stone style swatches. My inspiration for these swatches are definitely Natasha Newton. If you have not seen her videos, I will link her channel below. I love swatching my paints this way now. Next one is Permanent Alizarin Crimson, PV19 and PBR25. The light fast is 3 stars. This is transparent and staining. So when you swatch an entire range of colors, you see a lot of very similar colors over and over, but sometimes the properties of those colors will be a little different. So if you prefer a color that's more staining or one that's more opaque or more transparent, kind of take note of that. And that's why I like to put those on the screen. So this one is very similar to the first one. Similar light fastness, and they are both staining colors. But the first one, after it's dried, now I see it has a little bit more of a purple tint to it. So the next one is Carmine. This is PR83. This one is light fast rating of 2, which means moderately durable. It is transparent and semi-staining. So this one is not quite as staining as the first two. If you want one that will lift a little bit better, then you might want to go for this one. But again, another beautiful kind of pink magenta-y color. I will show you them all dried at the end. We'll get a quick look at all the colors after they have dried. But I like to swatch this way because I can lift and see what they look like at their lightest and then also kind of at their mass tone. Next up is Rose Madder, PR83. The light fast rating of this one is also a 2-star. It is transparent and semi-staining. Holbein paints have such a beautiful creaminess to them. They just feel so good under the brush. I started having problems with this brush and I will switch in a little while. It started like separating and making it difficult to get a nice line around the edge. But this one lifted pretty well. Looking at the dried swatch, it did have a little bit of blooming. I may have had too much water pushed into that. That was Rose Madder. Next up is Quinacridone Red, pigment PV19. The light fast rating of this one is 3 stars, which is permanent. It is transparent and staining. Again, I know these all look very similar. There are subtle differences in these first 2 rows, but they are very similar colors. So you can pick your favorite of these. And as I go through these, I am making note of ones I really like, and I put a little star next to it. So take note of that as I am going through. You'll see some that I put little asterisks by. Those are the ones that I am thinking about putting in my palette. After I've seen them dry, I have slightly different opinions on some of these colors, but we will make those decisions after the full swatching. This color is quite gorgeous though. The next color is Pyrrole Ruben, PR264. Light fast of 3, this one is semi-transparent and it is staining. This one dried very rich and beautiful. This was actually a really, really pretty color. Another thing that goes into picking colors in a palette is also how well they mix with other colors, and I haven't done that. So I may do some mixing testing once I choose my colors to make sure I like them. But again, that will be in part 2 when we determine the colors we want in the palette. The next color is Pyrrole Maroon, PR179. This one has a light fast rating of 3. It is transparent and staining. This one to me looks like blood when it's going on the page, and also the paint on the side there. This one I did not like so much when it was wet. When it dried, it definitely looks more maroon. It has less of that orangey hue to it. So it's definitely prettier dry than it is wet. It changed quite a bit actually. So I'm mentioning the brush keeps separating and making my life difficult. But this color does go pretty deep and does lift pretty well, even though it is a staining color. I was able to get quite a bit off. But it is having it is nice having that nice rich deep red. So it might be a color I would consider in the palette after seeing it dry. The next color is Pyrrole Red, PR254. The light fast rating on this one is a 3, which again is permanent. It is semi-opaque and staining. So this is our first one that has a little bit of opacity to it. Holbein has some beautiful opaque colors, but they also have quite a few that are nice and light and transparent as well. I think a lot of people know Holbein for their gouaches and their watercolors that are opaque, but they have some beautiful transparent ones. This one ended up being a beautiful like strawberry red. I did put an asterisk by that. Next is Quinacridone Scarlet, PR209. This one has a light fast rating of 3, and the G means this one is granulating. It is transparent and semi-staining. So this is the first one that we're seeing that is granulating by Holbein. Now, Holbein's pigments generally are very, very finely milled. They're very ground and they're very smooth. So it's interesting to see the granulating ones. They're not going to be as chunky of a granulation. They're going to be a little more subtle. But in the granulating ones, I make sure to put more water in those and also kind of move them around because I want to see how they do separate and granulate. And this one I liked a lot, so there's that little asterisk. The next color is Scarlet Lake. We have PO73, PR254, and PV19. The light fast rating on this one is 3. This one's semi-transparent and semi-staining. This one's red. It's just a nice general red color, and it's kind of general across the board. It's a semi-transparent and semi-staining, so it would be a nice primary red to have in a palette. And the next color is Opera. So this one is obviously going to be fugitive. It's BV10 and PR122. Light fast of 1, which is fugitive. It is semi-transparent and semi-staining. It is beautiful and vibrant. I always love me a good opera pink. Alright, and now we're going to get into some paints that have that white pigment in them that make them a little more opaque and so creamy. So this first one is Brilliant Pink, PR209, and PW6, which is white. Light fast of 2, and it's semi-opaque and semi-staining. It's a beautiful creamy pink. Between this one and the next one, I like the next one better. But Brilliant Pink is a good, just light bubblegum pink. It's beautiful. And again, it has some opacity to it because of that white pigment that it has. The next one is my favorite. It's Shell Pink. This is the first color I've had, PO73, PW6, so there's a white. It is, again, a light fast of 2, semi-opaque and semi-staining. So this one's very similar to the other one, except this one's more of a warm toned pink. So Brilliant is more cool and this one's more warm and kind of slightly peachy. This is the one I would pick over if I was choosing between the two. I don't know why I don't have an asterisk by it because that one definitely is going in the palette. I really like Shell Pink. Next up is Cadmium Red Purple. This one is a granulating color. It's PR108. And the light fast rating on this one is a 3. This one is the first opaque and staining color. So this one's got some opacity to it. Also to note on these, there is a warning label on them. The ones that are cadmium actually have cadmium in them. So there's several of these that I'm going to mention. Cadmium is known to be a toxic ingredient if inhaled, so just something to note. But as I was swatching these, I was like, I understand why they would use cadmium because this is so beautiful. I don't know why I like the ones with cadmium in them so much more, but they're so opaque, but they lift. Like this one, I got a nice lift out of it, even though it's staining and opaque. They're so beautifully creamy. I don't know why, I just like the cadmium colors. So I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. Does that bother you to have cadmium in your paints, or does it not? Because I really like some of them. Next is Cadmium Red Light. This is granulating as well. It has PO20 and PR108. Again, this one has cadmium. It's light fast of 3. It is opaque and staining. So again, these next ones, they are granulating, and so I make sure to put more water in them and push them around a little bit more. But this one's a little bit more of an orangey red. But again, it's just got this quality to it that I love. It's so pretty. The next one is Vermilion. This is also granulating. It's PO20 and yep, there it was. Light fast of 3, opaque and staining. I'm not fast enough on my words. This one also has cadmium in it. So something to note if you're trying to avoid it, their vermilion has cadmium. But oh my gosh, do you see how beautifully soft, not soft, it's creamy and opaque. I don't know how to describe the way it goes on the paper. It's just beautiful. So they have this one, which is vermilion, and then they have vermilion hue. So this is a non-cadmium version, and this one is PO73, PR254, and PY110. This one has a light fast, again, of 3. This one's semi-transparent and semi-staining. So this one's more transparent than vermilion. It also is a little bit more orange. Vermilion has more of a red to it, especially once dry. I honestly like vermilion better than vermilion hue, but next up is Cad Red Orange, PR108. That is the cadmium pigment, by the way. And the light fast of 3. This again is opaque and staining. Do you see the opacity in this? This one is very orange. Once it's dry, it has a little bit more red, but it is much more orange than the other ones. I don't traditionally have a bunch of orange in my palette, so these colors aren't ones that I necessarily want or need, but once we get to the cad yellows, that's when I'm in trouble. That's the ones that I really want. But if you love oranges, these are beautiful. This one is not granulating, by the way. Next is Brilliant Orange, PO73 and PY110. This one has a light fast rating of 3, semi-opaque and semi-staining. So this one does not have any of the toxic cadmium in it, and we have a little bit of opacity and staining. So if you're wanting that quality, this one is actually beautiful. This one's very, very orange. Next up is Permanent Yellow Orange. This one is PY74, 83, and PO73. The light fast on this one is only 2. We have semi-transparent and semi-staining. I am curious, do y'all care about light fast ratings, and how much do you care? The next color is Cadmium Yellow Orange, PO20. This one has a light fast rating of 3. And this one is, of course, opaque and staining. The cadmiums seem to be more of an opaque staining colors. And this one's actually quite beautiful. But the next one's the one I'm in love with. Cadmium Yellow Deep, PO20 and PY35. It has a light fast rating of 3. It is opaque and semi-staining. I'm sorry it was coming off the edge of the paper. I did not notice it until later. But this right here is my ideal yellow. And I did actually put a little asterisk by this one. I've got to determine if I mind having cadmium in my palette or not. But it's beautiful. Next is Cadmium Yellow Light, PY35. Light fast rating of 3. It is opaque and staining. So this is another beautiful yellow. I just like the richness of the deep one better, but Cad Yellow Light is beautiful as well. Don't worry, there are lots of other yellows coming up that do not have cadmium in them though. So if you're trying to avoid that, there are some more coming. But we do have one more right here. We have Cad Yellow Pale next, PY35. This is a light fast rating of 3, and it is opaque and staining. I'm so sorry. I had a headache hat because of my migraine, and I kept bumping the camera, making it shake. I keep trying to keep it still, but I hit it a couple of times. It looks like we have one more Cad Yellow after this one. We're going to turn the page and get some more out. We have Cadmium Yellow Lemon. This is PY35. I'm not a huge fan of lemon colors. They're not generally ones that I like to include in my palette, but this is a light fast of 3. It is opaque and staining. Once this one dried, it was actually not too bad. Not bad. It was pretty. I just don't like the slight greenish tint that lemons usually have. Next is Something Lemon. I don't know how to say it. PY175. I've never heard of that word, but it's light fast of 3, semi-transparent, and non-staining. This one ended up being very similar to the Cad Yellow Lemon, so if you want one that is not opaque and staining and not cadmium, this one is a really good option for you. The next one is very similar. It has the same name, but just yellow, and then PY154. It has a light fast rating again of 3. This one is also semi-transparent and non-staining. This one is just a slight touch warmer than the one before. And again, I'm sorry about the camera shaking. And this one I actually really enjoyed. I would probably consider this in my palette. Next is Gamboge Nova. We have PY154, 150, and 110. This one has a light fast rating of 3. This one is opaque and staining. I like this one. This is the kind of yellow I like. I like it warm and rich. And I like transparent colors and non-staining. So, I mean, I like having both. I like having the option of both. But this one ended up being a very beautiful color. I think I actually put an asterisk by this one because I liked it. This one might end up in my palette. Next is Something Yellow Deep, PY110. I don't know how to say this one either. It's a very long name. The light fast rating on this one is 3. It is transparent and semi-staining. This one has a little bit more orange to it. Beautiful color, but probably not one that's going to end up in my palette. But very smooth, creamy. Loved it. The next one, however, most definitely is going in my palette. Can you guess what it is? It's Quinacridone Gold, PY150. I love Quinacridone Gold, pretty much every brand. This one has a light fast of 3, so it's permanent. It is transparent and semi-staining. The thing I love about Quinacridone Gold is it's so versatile. You can do a nice light wash of it and it looks like a pale yellow, or you can really load it up and it's this rich, beautiful gold shade. See that yellow right there? You lift it and it's just a beautiful, it's like the lemon yellows. I mean, it's light. So I just love the versatility of this. And then you just pile on that pigment and you get this rich, deep color. I really love painting sunflowers with this because you've got all the range of color there. It's just beautiful. So this one's definitely going in the palette. Next up, I have a bone to pick. This is Permanent Yellow Deep, PY74 and 83. It's a light fast of 2, semi-transparent and semi-staining. The permanent is a light fast of 2, which means moderately durable. Why is it called permanent if the light fast is not permanent? I don't understand that at all. But all of them in here that say permanent are not. The next one is Permanent Yellow Light, PY74 and 83. Again, light fast of 2, so moderately durable, semi-transparent and semi-staining. It's a beautiful color, but I don't understand why it's not a permanent color. Next up is, I don't know exactly how you say this one, but Arulian is how I would think. This is a beautiful yellow. This is PY154, 175, and 150. It is light fast of 3, so it's permanent. It is transparent and non-staining. This one is a good, nice primary yellow that I will probably be putting in my palette. Light fast ratings do matter a little bit to me, especially in a professional palette. So if there's colors that are similar and one's light fast and one isn't, I'm going to go for the light fast one. So definitely like this yellow. Next up is Permanent Yellow Lemon PY3 and 74. You guessed it, it is a light fast rating of 2. Moderately durable. It is semi-transparent and semi-staining. So this is, again, a lemon, permanent lemon yellow. Not my type of yellow, but if you like yellows, this and then their lemon yellow have similar ratings, so either one. Actually, I'd go with the lemon up at the top, the imidazolone, or whatever it is. All right, so the next one is just lemon yellow. It is PY3 and PW6. So this one has white pigment in it. It is a light fast rating of 2. It is semi-opaque because of that white and non-staining. So if you want a yellow that has some more opacity to it, then this one might work for you. I sure hope this is still going. Next up is Naples Yellow. This is PY35, 42, and PW6. Again, this one has some white in it, so that makes it opaque, non-staining, and a light fast of 3. I love Naples Yellows. If you've never used a Naples Yellow, it's a beautiful, creamy, rich, again, opaque color. Look at that. It's kind of like a creamsicle. It's very orangey yellow, but kind of muted, creamy orange and not like a in-your-face orange. I don't know. I like Naples Yellow. It's beautiful. Next up, we have another one with a white pigment in it. This is Jaune Brilliant, and this is number 1, PO20, PY35, and PW6. I believe this one has a cadmium warning on it as well. This has a light fast of 3. It is opaque and non-staining. Yeah, I think that PO20 perhaps is the cadmium pigment. So Jaune Brilliant 1 and 2 both have that warning on them. So if you are trying to avoid cadmium, these colors are not for you. But again, another beautiful, creamy, gorgeous watercolor. Next up is Jaune Brilliant number 2. We've got that PO20 and PW6. We have a light fast rating of 3. It is opaque and semi-staining. Next up is a color called Greenish Yellow. It's PY150, PG7, and PBR25. This has a light fast rating of 3. It is transparent and semi-staining. This one is kind of a brownish, yellowy green. It's an interesting color, and as I was painting it, all I could think of was pickle. It looked like a pickle. I am painting a pickle. Especially when I started adding some to the edge, to the darker, and then the lighter in the middle. This is not a stone swatch, it's a pickle swatch. But it is an interesting, pretty color. I like the color after this a little bit better than this one, but it is pretty. It's a pickle. Next is Olive Green, and I think it has the same pigments as Greenish Yellow. PY150, PG7, and PBR25. This one is granulating. You see the G? So I make sure to put some extra water in this one. It is light fast of 3, semi-transparent and semi-staining. This one I have used and I do like. So this one is going in my palette for sure. It's the same pigments as the last one, but different ratios. It's a little bit more green, less of that yellowy color. But this would be beautiful in florals. Making sure to push this one around a little bit, adding pigment, pushing water in it to see if we can get some granulation out of it. Next is leaf green. We have PY 154 and PG 7. This one's very vibrant. It is light fast of 3. It is semi-transparent and non-staining. This is not a traditional green that I would use, but it's kind of fun. I like to use more natural earthy greens, kind of like the olive green. And Holbein's green choices don't have as many earthy ones as, say, Daniel Smith, which I love Daniel Smith greens. So there are definitely some greens in Holbein that I do like, but they don't have quite the earthy tones that I generally gravitate toward. Next up is permanent green number 1, PY3, 53, and PG7. Again, permanent, light fast of 2, semi-opaque and semi-staining. So far all of the ones that are named not permanent. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it does. Pretty color, a little bit vibrant for my painting style. It did dry down a little bit less punchy. Next up is permanent green number 2. We have PY 74, 53, and PG 7. This one's a little bit deeper. Another very vibrant green. Light fast of 2, semi-opaque and semi-staining. It ended up drying a little bit more neutral, a little bit more earthy than it is wet. They definitely changed quite a bit once dry. Next up is cadmium green deep. This has cad in it. PY 35, PG 7, and PG 18. Light fast of 3, semi-transparent and semi-staining. This one is gorgeous. I don't know why I like cadmium colors so much. This one's a little bit more on the blue tone side, which I don't normally love, but it's really pretty when it dries. It's a pretty color. Next up is cadmium green pale. This has PY 35 and PG 18. It is a light fast rating of 3, semi-opaque and semi-staining. This one is definitely a more vibrant light green, similar to the permanent green number 1. The next color is Hooker's Green. This is PG 7, PY 110, and 150. Light fast of 3. This one is transparent and semi-staining. I have not traditionally been a Hooker's Green fan, but this one actually looks really pretty when dry. I actually put an asterisk by this one. I like this color. And I feel like this one could be mixed in with other colors really well to modify the tone of green to suit my needs well. It's really pretty. Next up is Bamboo Green. This one is PG 36. It is a light fast rating of 3. It is transparent and semi-staining. This one's probably not one that I'm going to put in my palette, but it is pretty green. I prefer the Hooker's Green to this one. The next color though, oh my goodness, this is Cobalt Green. This is PG 18, PB 28, and PW 6. Light fast of 3. This one is opaque and semi-staining. This also has a warning on it for cobalt. So not cadmium, but cobalt. Again, another substance you do not want to inhale. But wait, look at this. Look at this color. This one, I want in my palette. It is so beautiful. And after it's dried, it's even more beautiful. So smooth, so creamy, and the color is just perfection. I love this one so much. Gorgeous. All right, we have 5 colors left, and then we are halfway done. Halfway done, so the end of this video, and then we'll do the other half in part 2. All right, so the next color is Viridian. This is PG 18, light fast rating of 3. This is a granulating color, transparent and semi-staining. So again, I make sure to play around with this one a little bit, try to make it separate and granulate. And I think of all the ones that do granulate, this one granulates the most. They are pretty subtle granulations, especially compared to their new granulating line. But this one is actually a really pretty color. And I don't traditionally like Viridians, but this one's pretty. Next up is Viridian Hue. This one is PG 7, light fast rating of 3 stars, transparent and semi-staining. This one's a little bit warmer of a green, but just a touch warmer than the Viridian. The Viridian has a little bit more blue to it, and Viridian Hue has a touch more yellow. I don't like this one as much as Viridian, but both good options, very similar ratings. One's granulating, one's not. The next color is Emerald Green Nova, and it's beautiful. This is PY3, PG7, and PW6. So this one does have some white in it. It is a light fast rating of 2, semi-opaque and semi-staining. So it has a little opacity to it. This is a gorgeous, beautiful green. Again, Holbein has some pretty greens, but none of them are really that super earthy greens. These are more vibrant, fun greens. They're just a little bit different style than the ones I'm used to. But this is a very beautiful color. We have 2 more for this video. 2 more greens, and I love both of these. This next one surprised me a lot. And it is called Compose Green, PY3, PG7, and PW6. This one is light fast of 2. This one is opaque and non-staining. Look at that color. So opaque. It is a beautiful minty shade, but like not a pastel or not a light mint. It's like a rich mint. I don't know. It dries a little bit warmer than it's showing up here in the video wet. It's a little bit deeper and a little bit warmer when it's dry, but this one is definitely going in my palette. It is so beautiful. This one was probably the one that surprised me the most. And the next one is a good old traditional sap green. This is PY 150, PG 7, and PR 122. Beautiful sap green, light fastness of 3. It is transparent and semi-staining. This is definitely one that will end up in my palette. So those last 2 greens, most definitely in my palette. We're gonna have a harder time deciding when we start getting into these blues because there are a ton of blue. So the next video, we're gonna have some decisions to make. But that is it. That is all the ones that we're gonna swatch today. Those are half of the 108 Holbein set. Absolutely beautiful. And here I'm gonna go ahead and show you what they look like dried. Here are all these beautiful colors, so you can kind of see which ones are supposed to granulate, see if they do granulate, and what they look like dry. So many beautiful colors to choose from. But again, we're gonna go back through these after we have swatched all of them in the next video. But I think that is going to wrap up this video. If you did enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you want to see our future videos, hit that subscribe button down below. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. I'm on a time crunch. This is supposed to be up today. These videos take so long to edit because I'm putting all the pigment information up. It takes so much longer than you think. So long. So this one will be up a little late.